For the next 1000 years, my thoughts will inspire the people, prophesied Swami Vivekananda. As the world gears up to celebrate the 150th birth anniversary of the saint, Swami Vivekananda continues to inspire the people all around. What was that in the Swamiji's message that is doing the trick, which none of the leaders in any other areas are able to do? The answer will be quite interesting once the Swami himself summed it up thus: my ideal indeed can be put into a few words, and that is to preach unto mankind their divinity and how to make it manifest in every moment of life. Reminding Hindus that spirituality as the backbone of India, the Swamiji exhorted them to hold on to it irrespective of their belief in it. Then, walking clear of the religious superstitions, he dug out the eternal truths buried deep in Hindu scriptures like the Vedas, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, etc., demystified and simplified them and made it practicable in day-to-day life by people of all walk, which he termed as practical Vedanta. Then, going against the conventions and orthodox views, he interpreted words karma and karma yoga mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita as day-to-day actions and selfless actions. He stressed that later alone can take one to the highest ideal of moksha that a Hindu aspires. Thus, in selfless day-to-day activities and service to the needy, the Swamiji saw a magic pill to cure the body politics of the land of all ills that afflicted on it by over 1000 years of slavery, starting from the invasion by the Muslim to the British rule, and also way to realize the highest goal a Hindu considered as to be achieved in this life on earth. Then, with his fearless patriotism, the Swamiji gave a new dimension to the freedom movement in India, inspiring a whole generation of freedom fighters such as Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Aurobindo Ghosh, Balagangadhar Tilak, Bhagat Jatin, etc. Whatever happened thereafter was history of India's freedom struggle. Such was the impact of Swami Vivekananda, the first Governor General of independent India. Chakravarti Rajagopalachari said, Swami Vivekananda saved Hinduism and India. According to Mahatma Gandhi, Vivekananda's influence increased his love for his country 1,000-fold. Though very late, the Government of India declared 12th January the Swamiji's birthday as National Youth Day by projecting him as a role model for the youth. That the message of Swamiji has not stopped inspiring the new generation was evident from the number of people taking up service activities in different parts of the country under various banners. In sheer numbers, it has surpassed the activities of the Christian missionaries who do it out of foreign donations with eyes on conversion of Hindus. Out of such persons involved in selfless activity for the needy, while many do it at individual levels, many have institutionalized it to sustain and maximize the impact. During the visit to Northeast, we took time to meet a couple of such personalities who have become torchbearers of Swami Vivekananda message, and one among them is Srimati Arunima Das and her husband Sri Ashok Das, both known to us right from our days in Northeast. Getting into a winger, a vehicle dumped elsewhere in the country by the manufacturer's Tata due to lack of motorability, we started our journey from Dibrugarh to Shivsagar district. Both Dibrugarh and Shivsagar districts are home to some of the famous tea estates of Assam. The pleasing sights of dark green tea bushes sheltered by the tall trees providing shade from the sweltering rays of the sun to protect the priceless crop grown under it can leave a lasting impression even on the most unimpressionable mind, leave alone on me with some experience in the tea industry. During the winter seasons, it was a sheer delight to watch the tea garden basking in the morning sun's rays that come down penetrating the thick tree foliages and fog. But as I was aware of the innumerable road accidents that take place involving winger and looking at the reckless speed the driver was driving, most of the time I was in prayerful mood. which was broken on a few occasions by the phone calls from Srimati Arunima Das, monitoring our progress to guide us to the right place in Moran. The beautifully laid out straight road without the usual ups, downs and ditches seen on national highways elsewhere in the country seemed to be tempting the driver to give the vehicle wings and make it fly on the road. And within an hour the ordeal was over. We reached Moran bus stand, and from there we were accompanied to the school by one of the staff. But the grand welcome that the school gave us, with the students and teachers lining on both sides of the way, almost took our breath away. Without waiting for the formalities to be completed, I initiated my interaction with the school children. With a select students singing the school prayer song, the program came to an end. After a small refreshment, we were taken to the classrooms to interact with the students. The school was functioning in a rented premises of another institution. From the type of response to our searching questions, we were impressed by the level of development the children were brought to by the highly motivated and committed teachers of the school. Later, we also conducted a training program for the teachers of the school, numbering over a dozen. Starting her career as a teacher in a local school in Dibrugarh, Srimati Arunima Das was quick to formulate her own future vision, which led her to resign the job and start an organization under the name of Swami Vivekananda Center for Child and Youth Development on 14th November 2004. Initially, the activities of the center were confined mainly to the youth, child, mother care, environmental issues, etc. While carrying out these activities, Srimati Arunima Das realized the significance of an institutional framework to ensure better delivery. That led to the starting of a school in the year 2005 under the name of Sri Swami Vivekananda Kendriya Vidyalaya. The school's management made concerted effort to ensure that fairly large number of students belonging to tribals and deprived classes were given admission in the school. Soon the school work got a shot in the arm with the joining of an experienced academician, Sri K.K. Narayan, as the principal in December 2008. Hailing from Wayanad district in Kerala, Sri K.K. Narayan was pioneer in provision of an all-round education envisaged by Swami Vivekananda by single-handedly establishing a renowned educational institution in Dibrugarh district in Assam in the year 1980. Under his care, the new school at Moran also took rapid strides in providing value-based all-round education to the children. In appreciation of the service and school activities, the government of Assam allotted land in Tiloinagar, Moran. Now efforts are on to have a permanent building for the school and the service activities. The foundation laying ceremony of the school building was held on 28/10/2011 and building construction started thereafter. The management hoped to get CBSE affiliation for the school in due course.
Taking some of the bricks and stones and each.
That is.
तो बना बनाया ये रास्ता भी मिल गया।
कोई रास्ता भी है, ये है। कोई है यार, मेन रोड नजदीक है।
हाँ।
थोड़ा अंदर भी है ताकि वो।
While Srimati Arunima Das was busy with the school and service activities, Sri Ashok Das, manager in one of the tea estates in Dibrugarh, is working on a long-term plan to provide vocational skills for the unemployed youth in areas like electrical, plumbing, masonry, motor rewinding, etc. They can substantially improve the economic conditions. What socio-economic changes can be brought about by an inspired leader like Swami Vivekananda was evident from the innumerable number of people working it out in the remotest places of the country. Srimati Arunima Das and her husband Sri Ashok Das were one among many such people. On the occasion of 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, we can only bow our heads in reverence to the visionary leader who made it possible in a country where the elected governments are known more for their misgovernance.